Dick Duran, his 4th season as Bills head coach. Raheem Morris, the youngest head coach in the National Football League. Bucs have won the toss. Ryan Lindell gets things started. We are underway here at Orchard Park. Clifton Smith on the return for the Bucs. And Smith takes it out to the 30-yard line. 26-yard return. John Wendling made the tackle on special teams for the Bills.
Moose, I don't know if this is a rivalry, but it sure looks like one down on the field.
And strangely enough, Goose, this is the first time that Tampa Bay has played in Buffalo during the course of the regular season. They've had a preseason game up here, but never during the course of the regular season.
Guys, Tampa Bay without Antonio Bryant, their star receiver,
Jeff
with an
Fain.
injury.
Jeff Fain also. Sean Mahan got to hold down that center position today.
On 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Cadillac Williams, an outstanding game last week, 97 yards on the ground against Dallas. Cadillac gains 3.
And that's going to be key for the Buffalo Bills defense. They've got to stop this Tampa Bay running game. They ran the ball very effectively against the Dallas Cowboys last week. They're not as big up front as Dallas, but they're very athletic, very quick. You've got to take Tampa Bay out of that comfort zone of being able to run the ball and throw play action.
2 tight ends set, 2nd down and 7. Cadillac Williams, and he is taken down in the backfield by Kyle Williams. Loss of 5 yards on the play.
A lot of talk to the guys on the outside. Aaron Schobel, Chris Kelsey, you hear a lot about them, but I tell you, Kyle Williams inside, number 95, a very, very good interior lineman. I tell you, every time Cadillac Williams gets tackled, it's always like it's a horse collar, and he's down on your knees. You got to hold your breath. Right here, watch him get rolled up. And the guy's come back from 2 career-threatening injuries. Every time I see him get tackled like that, I hold my breath.
3 wide receivers set, 3rd down and 12. Leftwich to the air for the first time. The ball hit the ground. It was intended for Michael Clayton. Incomplete. Bucs go 3 and out.
Hey, Goose, you're absolutely right. This looks like just a division rivalry. And we got punches being thrown. We could have some ejections here.
Both of these teams are fired up.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Makes it 4th down.
You can see the ball right there. I saw it down here on the field. The ball hits the ground. Still, as a defensive player, you got to go and put the pressure on the officials. Get that ball, try to run it at the end zone. Let them make the call, because you know sometimes they don't make that right one.
And Goose, there is Roscoe Parrish. The last 2 seasons, he has returned a punt for a touchdown in the Bills' home opener. The punt by Dirk Johnson, taken at the 30 by Parrish. Some trickery on special teams. Ashton Ubodi brings it out to the 46-yard line.
If Ashton would have caught that clean, I think he had a chance to get up the sideline. You practice that play all week. The one thing that Dick Duran, Bobby April, they're going to talk to him about is make the catch. Make the catch. We're going to sell the return. Roscoe's going to stop and throw it back across the field. Make the catch. If you make the catch and then get upfield, you've got the whole sideline blocked off. Look, even with all that nonsense, he still gets some good yards.
And that play, of course, reminiscent of the Music City Miracle. Titans doing it against the Bills back in the '99 playoffs. So Trent Edwards and the Bills with terrific field position from the 46-yard line. Some more trickery on 1st down on the end around. Terrell Owens into Bucs territory. Hard to bring down. Picks up a 1st down as Owens on his first touch here at home as a Bill gains 13 yards.
That's what we talked about, Moose, getting into Terrell Owens' hands early. That's exactly what they do on the reverse. That puts a lot of pressure on this defense, and I'll tell you what, these fans love it down here.
Another way they're going to put pressure on this defense, Goose, is this no-huddle offense.
Fred Jackson. Jackson, terrific game on Monday night. Down to the 36-yard line, gain of 5. Geno Hayes made the tackle.
There's some quarterbacks in the league that when you talk to offensive coordinators, they'll say, hey, we want to get some nice, easy passes to build his confidence and get him going. Terrell Owens is like that on the outside as a receiver. You've got to get the ball to him. Tony, exactly right at the top, saying they needed to get it to him. He's a different player when he's involved early in the game.
A wild start here in Buffalo, 2nd and 5. The toss to Jackson. And Jackson takes it down to the 32-yard line, about a yard shy of the marker. Again, it's Geno Hayes on the tackle, gain of 4.
Had an opportunity to talk to Rondé Barber before the game, and remember, this Tampa Bay defense has been playing the same style of defense for over a decade. Defensive coordinator Jim Bates comes in and changes it. I think they had trouble last week with that package. He had a lot of stuff in week 1. They've scaled it back to try and cut down on those mistakes and technique.
3rd down and 1. Edwards looking for Lee Evans. His first touchdown in the last 12 games.
In the game Monday night against the New England Patriots, the Buffalo Bills did not take shots down the field. New England was not going to let them by the way they were playing defense, but when they had the opportunity, they were sparse, but they were there. They didn't take advantage of it. Trent Edwards didn't waste any time this afternoon taking a shot downfield.
So Owens involved early, and then Edwards to Evans. Big start for the Bills here in their home opener.
Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator, not holding anything in the toolbox. Actually, the whole Bills staff. We had the pass across the field on the punt return, opened the game with a reverse, shot down the field.
Lindell's kickoff handled out of the end zone by Ernest Graham. And Graham is brought down just shy of the 20. Back in Buffalo, Buccaneers had second-year quarterback Josh Johnson in the huddle with Byron Leftwich on the sideline, and then just about 5 seconds ago, Leftwich ran on. Johnson went to the sideline.
I don't know what it does.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Leftwich and the Bucs, and Leftwich goes down. Marcus Stroud, his first sack of the season.
This is what Tampa Bay can't allow to happen. Don't get out of your game plan. Number 99, Marcus Stroud. Cadillac Williams even there with a little hit. Cadillac Williams has got to stay on him. David Joseph was beat up the field by Marcus Stroud. Stay on him. Don't turn him free to your quarterback, but don't panic right now. It's 7-0. Stay within your offense where you are strong. Run the ball. Throw play action.
2nd and 10. Leftwich to Cadillac Williams. And Williams across the 30 picks up the Buccaneers' first down today.
That was a big collision right there between a couple of 24s. Cadillac Williams.
Josh Johnson back in along with Leftwich. 2 quarterbacks in the huddle.
Well, defense has got to get recognition of that for some type of double pass. Josh Johnson going to the top of the screen.
Leftwich under center. Josh Johnson split to the left. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line as Cadillac takes it out to the 35. Marcus Stroud, the tackle.
Goose, any ideas? You're a defensive lineman. You see 2 quarterbacks in the huddle. One goes out wide.
Well, it's got to keep you, on your toes a little bit. You got to wonder why they're both out there. Are they going to show wildcat? Are they going to do something in the backfield? But when they split them out like that, I don't know. They're not going to throw him the ball. I don't know if it's a decoy or what it is right now. Got everybody confused.
2nd down and 7. Leftwich to Kellen Winslow. Gain of 3, so a 3rd down and 4 coming up for offensive coordinator Greg Olson and the Bucs.
Yeah, interesting situation in this game. Both the offensive coordinators not on the job very long. Some changes late in the preseason. Greg Olson very interesting, very different approaches for both the guys. Greg Olsen kind of threw the playbook at the guys and challenged them to learn it over the next 3 weeks. I think he's still tinkering with some stuff.
Bucs must get to the 42. Leftwich on 3rd and 4. Fires downfield to a wide open Maurice Stovall. And Stovall gains 23 and a Bucs first down.
I was impressed with Byron Leftwich last week against the Dallas Cowboys, and he's kind of come out and started the same way. Maurice Stovall coming into the middle of the field as Sammy Stroughter goes outside, just real calm, real patient, allows Stovall to come open in the middle of the field. When you catch the ball against this Bills secondary, you better be ready. We see Terrence McGee early in the game, and that was Dante Whitner right there. They are physical in the Bills secondary.
Stovall started today for the injured Antonio Bryant. From the Bills 39, Cadillac tried to cut it outside. Now back up the middle, and he gains just 1.
Now, Moose, watching this front seven, they're playing run 100% on every down, it looks like, except on the spread with the quarterback out there. They want to shut that run down and put it in the air. They feel like they got the best chance if they can go and have this offense put the ball up, get some elevated throws like we saw in the last couple games.
Here's the Bucs rush for 174 yards last Sunday against Dallas, led by Cadillac. 2nd down and 9. This is Williams again. Fights his way down to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 3. Aaron Mabin, the first-round pick out of Penn State, made the tackle.
But still positive. You know, you have to establish your identity as an offense, and you may want to try and stop that running game, but we're not going to change. We're going to keep coming at you. We're going to keep pounding it.
3rd down and 6. Leftwich fires, complete to Sammy Stroughter for another Bucs first down. Stroughter, the rookie 7th-round pick out of Oregon State, gaining 10.
And they were able to do this last week in their opener against the Cowboys, and that is respond. When Dallas would score, Tampa Bay would come right back. You know, kind of similar to what we had here today. The Bills came out, you know, some gadget plays, hit them with a big play. Tampa Bay is more methodical. That is when they are going to be at their strength, down the field, running the ball, play action. We have not seen the big play as a part of this offense.
2 tight ends, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Off the play fake. Leftwich can't find anyone. Now throws. It is picked off by Dante Whitner. And Whitner is going to take it all the way for a Bills touchdown. 76 yards.
Bruce, we talked about it. That's exactly what this Bills defense is waiting for. Those elevated throws that we've seen week in and week out.
It couldn't happen to a better guy either, Goose. Dante Whitner was just beside himself Monday night after that loss to the Patriots. Found it very difficult to talk to the media after the game. He was so emotional.
We talk about it. That's the way to bounce back off of something that's bad. Don't let that mistake happen again.
Lindell adds the extra point. Buffalo Bills race out to a 14-0 lead. The Bills' longest interception return for a touchdown since 1993. Dante Whitner taking it back 76 yards. Clifton Smith. Smith out to the 34-yard line.
Let's go back and take a look at this interception by Byron Leftwich. Kyle Williams right here. There's a great effort play by your interior defensive lineman. He's going to fight through a double team. Byron Leftwich, take the sack or throw the ball away. As he's falling down, sees a flash of white out in the flat, tries to make something out of nothing, and it causes it.
So the Bucs go back to work as Leftwich hands off to Derek Ward. His first carry today. The former New York Giant is out to the 48-yard line, a gain of 13. Ward 62 yards on the ground in his Bucs debut. That interception thrown by Leftwich, Darrell, his first in his last 105 pass attempts.
Now, you had the graphic at the production meeting last night. I knew we were going to jinx it as soon as that came up.
Now Clifton Smith is split to the right. Ernest Graham lined up in the backfield on first down, and Leftwich connects with Smith, but he is met immediately by Terrence McGee. Gain of just 1.
That's a great tackle by Terrence McGee in the open field. When they throw that little screen pass, we see it all the time, but puts a lot of pressure on those cornerbacks to go and make a tackle. If they miss it, that's going to be a huge gain for Tampa.
It's fun in the chess game that goes on between the two teams, Tony. Tampa Bay wants to get the ball to Clifton Smith, give him an opportunity to run because of his return skills, and the Bills were concerned about Clifton Smith becoming an option on the third down passing game.
Second down and 9. Derek Ward into Bills territory. And Ward is close to a Tampa Bay first down.
You know, when you run that zone play up front, you got to stay on your feet as a defensive lineman. Right here, forces the zone right there, an open lane to go and make that cut. The defensive linemen need to go and get their hands down and stay on their feet. Very important on that zone blocking up front.
Ward did pick up the first. This is Derek Ward again. Inside the 40, dives to the 38-yard line. Ward gains 5.
Well, it's kind of good news, bad news for Tampa Bay right now. Obviously, the bad news, they're down 14-0, but it happened very quickly. So they still have the ability to stick to their style of offense, which is running the ball and then using the play action off of that. Now, last week against Dallas, they fell behind late. They can't have that happen. So stay with your game plan, believe in what you're doing, and try and get back into this game by the end of the half.
As you saw, Buffalo has had the ball for under 2 minutes. They lead 14-0. Penalty markers on second down.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That's Jeremy Trueblood, the right tackle. He was shaken up 2 plays ago.
One of the strengths of this Tampa Bay team is that offensive line, and with Jeff Fain already out of the starting lineup with that tricep injury, they cannot afford to have another one of their original starting 5 to go down.
And Sean Mahan, the center, brought back in this week, cut by the Bucs during preseason. 2nd and 10 following the penalty. Derek Ward. This time nothing. Marcus Bugs filling in for the injured Paul Posluszny made the tackle. Marcus Stroud lost his helmet.
You heard Tony talk about this zone blocking scheme, which was when the linemen kind of run. They're trying to get movement in the defense, and the key to defeating that is penetration up front and the ability to allow your linebacker level to run. Look at Marcus Bugs come over the top of everything and then a form tackle on the outside.
Also on that shot, Marcus Stroud doing a great job of going and taking 2 guys on, leaving linebackers wide open.
Even without his helmet, Goose.
Us defensive linemen, man, they don't care if they have pads on or not, Kenny.
3rd down and 10. 3 wide receivers for the Bucs. Leftwich over the middle. The ball popped out. It's picked up by Brian Scott. The question is, was it a reception? Kellen Winslow makes the tackle, and a late flag is thrown.
I think it was a great interception by Brian Scott. I think he went down and got that before it hit the turf. What a heads-up play, break into the ball. The ground flips it up. Ah, he fooled me. He fooled me. Let's take another look.
During the return.
Wow, that's going to be
Personal
close.
foul. Face mask. Number 82 for the passing team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Now, Raheem Morris may want to challenge that play. It's called interception on the field. Right now, I have not seen enough to change it. Goose, what do you think?
I don't know, Darryl. Looked like it could have been the shadow, too. They're going to have a hard time going and determining whether this was a pick or not.
Raheem Morris has challenged the last play. The question is, did the football hit the ground once, twice, or never?
When you go to replay, everything is opened up. Now, number one, does the ball hit the ground here when Sammy Stroughter's going down to make the catch? which would make it incomplete at that point right there. Okay, now we continue on, and we've got a better angle now. I think we've got the definitive angle of when the ball hits the ground here on Brian Scott. He does a great job with the effort, but it looks like it hits right there before he can get his hands underneath it.
Brian Scott does a great job of picking it up and running, though. You got to make the officials go and make that call and have that challenge flag come out, because you never know which way it's going to go, as we know, Darryl.
He fooled me.
It will either be Bills football at the Bucs 32 or 4th and 10 for the Bucs from the Bills 43, depending on the ruling. It was ruled an interception on the field, so there must be indisputable visual evidence in order to overturn the ruling on the field. Ron Winter is our referee.
A little posturing by Tampa Bay. They've got their punt team out there trying to sway the ruling.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is an interception. First down. Tampa Bay is charged with their first team timeout.
So Ron Winter has determined that the ball never hit the ground.
Well, it kind of goes back to what we said at the start. You know, there's a good chance this could stand as called, because did you have enough? I thought that our last angle coming in from the left side was the definitive angle that we were looking for. Hard to tell there. I'll let it go there. But this one right here, I think it touches the ground right there. I think it's an incomplete pass.
I agree, Darryl. I'm surprised it was not overturned. So for Leftwich, who had gone 105 consecutive attempts without being picked off, 2 interceptions, his last 3 pass attempts. And for Brian Scott, his first interception in 4 seasons. Fred Jackson. Jackson tackled at the 26-yard line after gaining 6 by Ryan Sims. Fred Jackson, big game on Monday night, 140 total yards, 57 on the ground, 5 receptions for 83 yards against New England.
Well, I think answering any questions or concerns about the fact, can Fred Jackson handle the job until Marshawn Lynch gets back into the starting lineup. They had a great game Monday night against the Patriots.
Edwards complete. And a first down for the tight end, Sean Nelson, the 4th-round pick out of Southern Miss, who scored a touchdown on his first career reception on Monday.
One of the things I like about this Buffalo offense is that there's always a counter to what their featured plays are going to be. You can see that press, the running game, and then all of a sudden there's a naked out the backside or a bootleg. We see screens off of running action. They have counters called to all their running plays that really put pressure on the defense.
1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. This is Jackson. And Jackson is hit for a loss. Quincy Black, along with Geno Hayes, in on the tackle for the Bucs.
Quincy Black on the stop for Tampa Bay. Lost a unit on the play.
Under 1 minute remaining, first quarter. Bills lead the Buccaneers 14-0. The toss to Jackson, with Demetrius Bell leading the way. And Jackson is wrestled out of bounds by Sabby Piscatelli after picking up 2.
That tempo of the Buffalo's offense is really, putting a little bit of a strain on the defensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Seeing a lot of the defensive linemen going and coming in and going out. Nice rotation, trying to keep guys healthy.
Although, Goose, they have a long way to go just to get off the field.
It's warm down here, too, Ken.
They may get more tired running to the sidelines than during the actual play. 3rd and 10, off the play fake to Jackson. Edwards can't find anybody. Penalty markers are thrown. Now Edwards throws to the end zone off the fingertips of Terrell Owens.
Holding. Offense number 77. That penalty's declined. Makes it 4th down.
And that's Bell, the left tackle, who was flagged 4 times on Monday night.
Well, the guy started playing football, organized football, in 2005. I mean, it's just an incredible story. Demetrius Bell down at the bottom. He even said, what happened to me Monday night is my technique got me in trouble. And if you don't move your feet, if you play with your hands and you start leaning forward, you're going to have to hold or pull guys down. to protect your quarterback. So some things that are correctable through coaching, but I'm just amazed at how he plays, only have playing organized football for 4 years.
Making his second career start. Ryan Lindell out to attempt a 31-yard attempt from the right hash. Brian Morgan places it down. Lindell's kick is good, so the Bills extend their lead. Buffalo Bills suffered a heartbreaking loss on Monday night. They led New England by 11 with just over 2 minutes remaining. Patriots came back, 2 late touchdown passes by Tom Brady, 25-24 victory. But today, 17-0 Buffalo. 9 seconds remaining in quarter number 1.
Can you finish the game, though? That's the thing we have to find out about Buffalo. Can they finish the game and put it away?
Clifton Smith. Smith down at the 22-yard line. Met by Ashley Palmer. 4 seconds remaining in the first. First and 10 for the Bucs from the 23-yard line. As Leftwich swings it out to Ward, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter here in Orchard Park. Welcome back. The Buffalo Bills never scored more than 7 points in the first quarter all of last season. They've scored 17 today.
Now they're doing a lot with that 3 minutes and 52 seconds in the first quarter. Time of possession kind of gets out of whack when you have turnovers.
From the 28-yard line, Derek Ward has a Bucs first down. Bills ran only 9 plays in the first quarter, yet thanks in large part to the 2 turnovers, they lead the Bucs 17-0.
I just like the way they started the game. They ran a fake punt and threw it back across the field. They got the ball to Terrell Owens, like Tony said, right away. And they got this crowd into the game. You know, this is a crowd that had their hearts torn out on Monday night. For the 3rd time in 3 years, the Bills lost a game that was virtually impossible to lose when you look at it from a fan's perspective. And they felt it was important to get the crowd into the game right away. They did a great job with their play calling.
Off the play fake to Ward. Leftwich fires, and it's caught by Michael Clayton for a Bucs first down. Clayton with a stiff arm into Bills territory to the 43-yard line. A gain of 24.
Michael Clayton, a great game last week to start the season, and he's following it up again here. He gets one-on-one on the outside with Leotis McKelvin. Gets him to slip down. Now watch here at the end, though. Little pie face right there. Take that.
We don't have to remind Bills fans it was McKelvin whose costly fumble on a return led to the game-winning touchdown scored by New England on Monday night. First and 10 from the Buffalo 43. Derek Ward. It is just one.
You better watch out for those 49ers. I saw them in the preseason. They are a really sound football team.
There are the 2 new offensive coordinators who took over their respective units just prior to the start of the regular season.
And very different approaches. Greg Olson for Tampa Bay kind of took some stuff out, but threw the whole playbook and challenged his guys. Alex Van Pelt for the Buffalo Bills, kind of week to week. I'm going to take a few things out, add a few things. We're going to do that over the course of 3 weeks, getting ready for the opener.
Leftwich on 2nd and 9, fires downfield. The catch is made for a touchdown. Kellen Winslow, his 2nd touchdown of the season, 42 yards.
Well, there's a matchup that I think Tampa Bay felt they had an opportunity in this game. It was the tight ends versus linebackers and safeties. Kellen Winslow and Jeremy Stevens both are very good receiving tight ends. They felt they matched up very, very well against the linebackers and safeties of the Buffalo Bills.
That offensive line, too, for the Bucs gave Byron Leftwich a lot of time to go and be nice and confident in that pocket, find his receiver downfield. Last couple passes, I'll tell you what, that offensive line is really going to solidify that line.
Mike Nugent adds the extra point. A 5-play, 77-yard drive culminating with the touchdown. Leftwich to Winslow.
You know, we just showed the coordinators and we talked about Greg Olson's approach. The two guys he was worried about, all that volume of the playbook, Kenny, Byron Leftwich, Kellen Winslow, really the only two new additions to that offense. A lot of it was from 2008. He felt that those guys were going to be fine, and Kellen Winslow and Byron Leftwich just showed him that I think all starting 11 are going to be fine.
And now, Darryl, the first chance today for Leotis McKelvin. Kelvin out to the 27-yard line. And some more extracurricular activity.
I tell you what, Kenny, he's going to run the ball back on kickoff returns the way he always does. He is an aggressive kick returner. He appears out of control at times, and he had the fumble. Now, you know, don't forget, Leotis McKelvin put the ball on the ground on the kickoff return prior to it, and then look at this reception to the game today. This fan base, the Buffalo Bills fan base, are as passionate as any fan base in the NFL. They love this team, this community. When you have a game like you had Monday night, I mean, all day Tuesday, this community is just sick. But it was great to see that before the game with Leotis McKelvin.
So now Trent Edwards and the Bills offense starting from their own 27-yard line. The handoff to Jackson. Unable to turn the corner.
Yeah, right, he's still going. Great job.
Akeem Talib with the first attempt. And then Savvy Piscatelli over to help out.
All right, we get a coaching tip for all you young football players out there. Don't just throw your shoulder, wrap him up. This is what can happen. That's a great job by Fred Jackson. Tremendous balance. Come on, Akeem, you got to wrap him up. Don't just go up and throw your shoulder down.
Wound up on top of Akeem Talib, so he was not ruled down. Now Jackson down at the 35-yard line, no gain. Chris Hovan made the tackle.
Akeem Talib, I think, over the next year or so is going to become one of the top corners in the NFL. He's a big guy, he can run, he's aggressive, but don't lose sight of some techniques. You got to be perfect technique every time when you tackle.
Talib matched up with Terrell Owens.
You can see he's going to run with him all day.
Third down and 2. Edwards complete. Jackson out of the backfield, and Jackson is close. It will depend on the spot. Our yellow line, of course, is unofficial.
Yeah, Akeem Talib draws the toughest assignment each week. Last week against Dallas, he drew Roy Williams for the entire afternoon. Now, Roy Williams' 66-yard touchdown reception, that was one of the situations where I think that there was some issues with pre-snap coverage by Tampa Bay. Akeem Talib actually was not on Roy on that play, but this afternoon he draws Terrell Owens. Now, he should mirror him around the field all afternoon.
4th and inches for the Bills. Dick Girard will keep his offense out on the field.
He's gaining a lot of confidence in that young offensive line pretty quick.
You don't often see this in this area from a defensive head coach.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Especially, I mean, you're at your 37-yard line. That's the one guy. You know, the one guy he's going for it. It's 4th and 11, Terrell. No, we can go. We'll make that.
Quarterback sneak here, Moose.
I don't know, Goose. It's the safest thing.
The running back's a little deep.
There it is, Goose. Edwards on the sneak.
Oh, they put Edwards' helmet right off.
There's the flag on it.
Yep, there's the flag.
Personal foul, number 90, defense, face mask. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So not only does Edwards pick up the yard he needed, but the Bills now gain another 15 after Gaines Adams grabbed his face mask.
That's just dumb right there. I got to point that out. You know, you're in the pile. Everyone's looking. The quarterback, every official on the field is looking at the play where the ball is, protecting the quarterback, and you go and rip the helmet off. I mean, they can't get any dumber than that move right there.
So the penalty Moves the ball into Bucs territory. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. First catch today for Terrell Owens. More flags. Owens down at the 42 after picking up 5.
This is going to be the 3rd face mask on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this afternoon.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 25. 15-yard penalty and a first down.
This time it's Talib. Consecutive plays. Face mask calls on Gaines Adams and Aqib Talib.
I think Raheem Morris he's not going to be happy with this, but it's not going to bother him. Very physical at the point on the release right there. Now it's just football. It just gets up there, you get a hold of it. And now remember, there is no 5-yard face mask, 15-yard face mask. If you get it and you tug it, it's 15.
From the 27, Fred Jackson. And Jackson met first by Tim Crowder. Signed on Monday, former 2nd-round pick of the Broncos. Jackson gaining 2. So how big was that decision by Dick Duran to go forward on 4th and inches? Edwards picks up the first down on the sneak, and then back-to-back 15-yard penalties.
Well, they need to do this. They need to learn how to finish a game. They've got to prove not only to their fan base, but also to themselves that they can finish games.
2nd down and 8 from the Bucs 25. Edwards looking for Evans again. Unable to make the catch this time.
It's about developing trust with your wide receivers. When you get the opportunities with one-on-one on the outside, if your quarterback is going to throw it up and allow you to try and get out there and make a play, then he has to have the confidence in you that you're either going to catch it or you're going to battle so that the defensive back doesn't intercept it. Albert Mack running stride for stride on that one with Lee Evans. Trent Edwards is starting to gain the confidence in his receivers.
3rd down and 8. Edwards over the top. It was deflected. Intended for Fred Jackson. Looked like Chris Hovan got a hand on it.
They only rushing 4 guys on the defensive line. Chris Hovan does a nice job of getting right through that line of scrimmage, getting his hands up. Watch him right here. One-on-one, he goes, gets a nice rip right in the quarterback's face, get your hands up, and then pull off. That's the smartest thing he did on that play right there. Pull off, don't get a flag. It was great pressure, incomplete pass. Move on to the next play.
So Goose, Ryan Lindell out to attempt a 43-yard field goal from the left hash. Mormon puts it down, and the kick is good. Goose, did you need any of that after you did not let Rich Gannon up off the turf?
My thing, I covered the nose too. If you saw right there, his nose wasn't covered. I covered my whole face. I need as much oxygen as possible there, Kenny.
And for the viewers, Goose pointed out during the commercial break that he was not called for a penalty on that play, Darryl.
No, they didn't have the momentum rules and some of the rules that have been put in place in the league today.
That was a momentum rule there, too.
I think Goose's momentum this weekend began on Friday morning, and he's still going.
A lot of momentum. It's hard to stop.
A lot of momentum for the Bills since the early portion of the first quarter. Short kickoff, and Matt McCoy, backup linebacker, called for the fair catch. As the Bucs keep it on the ground, out across the 31-yard line, Ernest Graham. There's Johnson, who is basically the 3rd quarterback all week, and then he's the number 2 quarterback on game day. That's what Raheem Morris told us.
Yeah, well, he pictures Josh Johnson as being the career backup, and when Byron is not the starter, Josh Freeman will be the starter, and Josh Johnson will become the backup. He likened him to Jason Garrett, who was the backup quarterback with the Dallas Cowboys, or Jim Sorgi, who's backed up Peyton Manning his entire career.
2nd down and 7. Leftwich swings it out to Graham. And Graham is tackled by Terrence McGee after picking up just 1. You know, we talked last week, Darryl, about the running back rotation of Williams, Ward, and Graham actually gave up some work last week.
Well, that's why it works. I mean, if you're going to have a running back rotation between 3 guys like Tampa Bay does, and several teams in the NFL are experimenting with, you've got to have a group that doesn't have egos. And Ernest Graham, it was his turn for the rotation, And he said, no, leave Cadillac in there. He's on a roll today. He's running hard. He deserves to be out there. That's the unselfishness that you have to have if it's going to be successful.
4th down and 6. Leftwich fires to the tight end, Jeremy Stevens, and he picks up a Bucs first down out of the 43-yard line.
And Byron Leftwich needs to start looking a little bit more at Jeremy Stevens and Kellen Winslow in these matchup situations. I really think that when you look at the wide receiver position and the matchups there with Leotis McKelvin and Terrence McGee matching up with Maurice Stovall and Michael Clayton, that the advantage, I think, is kind of with the Bills.
10 completions, 9 different receivers for Leftwich. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Ernest Graham. Graham into Bills territory. Dante Whitner forced him out. Ernest Graham keeps running like that. Cadillac's going to tell him, stay on the field, Ernest.
You know, from week to week, it could always change. You never know who's the hot hand.
First down from the Bills 44. Leftwich under pressure. He was looking for Stevens.
Byron Leftwich had time in the pocket that time. Just a bad throw. I don't know if it looked like it might have been tipped, but he had plenty of time to go and sit in the pocket. His offensive line doing a great job of giving him time. He makes the throw. I don't know. I hope it was tipped. That ball was not a spiral.
So now 2nd and 10 for Leftwich and the Bucs. Cadillac Williams in the backfield.
That's the 2nd on him.
False start. Offense number 65. The 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Jeremy Trueblood, the right tackle.
You know, it's not like it's real loud in the stadium either that you can't hear the snap count. Sometimes you're thinking out there too much and really don't know what's going on, and that's when you go and get the offsides. Never happened to you, right, Moose?
I can always fudge it because I was in the backfield. When I jumped, I just keep going like I was going in motion.
Working the system, Darryl Johnston. Working the system. Here they come.
2nd and 15. Leftwich gets rid of it and is nearly intercepted for a 3rd time. McKelvin got a piece of it.
Running those crossing routes into the middle of the field. Here comes everybody. They're blitzing right up the middle. Maurice Stovall's coming across. He's not even really looking where he's going. The hot receiver coming to the middle. I don't know if there's miscommunication because it actually didn't look like crossing routes called in the huddle, but actually adjustments to the pressure that the Bills brought up in the middle of the line.
The umpire, Bill Schuster, got caught up in the crossing route. 3rd down and 15. Bucs must get to the 34. Leftwich dumps it off, but the pass is short. He was looking for Cadillac Williams.
I don't know, Moose. Down here, it just looked like he had all day, open field, could see downfield. Another bad throw by Byron Leftwich.
Well, just understand the down and distance right there. And you made the point earlier on, Tony, that, I think he's relying on that check down a little bit too much and kind of got out of that. Has had a couple of nice deep throws, but there again, he had some time on a 3rd and long, needed to stretch that field a little bit more.
Well, Dirk Johnson punting from his own 40. Taken at the 10 by Parrish. And Roscoe Parrish finally brought down at the 29-yard line. 39-yard punt, 19 on the return.
Buffalo couldn't have gotten off to a better start this afternoon, and Tampa Bay couldn't have gotten off to a worse start this afternoon, but they're kind of hanging there. It's still only 20-7.
Holding penalty during the return, so the Bills, Darryl, forced back to their own 5-yard line. Buffalo leading Tampa Bay 20-7. The toss to Fred Jackson. And Jackson stayed in bounds and picks up the Bills' first down.
That's just the second real kind of heads-up run we've seen from Fred Jackson this afternoon. On an earlier run, Aqib Talib came up, put a hit on him, but didn't wrap him up. He kind of used Aqib's body to keep himself, from touching the ground, got up and got some extra yards. And again there, he kind of sneaks in for a couple extra yards.
Edwards 4 of 7. Evans with the early touchdown. This is Jackson up the middle. Mentioned earlier, Jackson starting for the suspended Marshawn Lynch, who gained over 1,000 yards once again last season. And Jackson playing over the first game and a half like he doesn't want to come out.
He's played very, very well. I mean, he was exceptional Monday night, you know, especially when you're a dual threat running the football. He's very physical. We've seen some nice runs, but also as a receiver, very effective.
Now Edwards going deep for Owens through his hands.
All right, now you got to take everything back that you said after Monday night's game. He's got a big smile. The 2 passes he's thrown to Lee Evans on the deep ball, I think were not really thrown well. This is thrown perfect. I mean, it is right down the chute.
And what Terrell Owens said during the week, Trent has to better assess what he's seeing out there and take some shots down the field, although Howie Long on our pregame show said that it looked a lot worse in print than on video. This time Edwards looking for Lee Evans.
Yeah, see, that's the one that we saw in the previous 2, and it was a completely different ball to Lee Evans than it is to Terrell Owens. He's allowing Terrell to kind of run underneath it and chase it down. When he's throwing the deep ball to Lee Evans, it's kind of floating up in the air there. That's the first time that they've had some help over the top from the safety. He's got to be careful with that, or it's going to get intercepted. See him just sets his feet, he gets the ball up in the air, but this one's floating on him. Gives Jermaine Phillips plenty of time to get over there.
Yeah, the higher that ball, the easier it is for that safety to see it and react to it. And that's what you don't want.
So the Bills taking shots downfield. First punt today, Brian Mormon, and a fair catch called for at the 45-yard line by Clifton Smith, 37 yards on the punt.
An eligible man downfield, kicking team number 54. Tampa Bay has elected the option to assess 5 yards from the end of the kick. First down.
I like that rule. That rule was put into play a couple of years ago. And Goose, I tell you what, there was nothing worse than covering back-to-back punts. You know, I know it's going to cost us 5 yards in field position, but man, covering 2 punts back-to-back was no fun.
It just takes the momentum out of the game, you know. You're sitting there, I mean, you got momentum going, and offensively you want to keep it moving along, and it just puts a damper on the whole game.
Who cares about momentum? I was tired. I didn't have 2 punts in me.
I was never on the punt team, so I like to break loose.
Not even as a rookie, Goose?
Don't get into it, Kenny.
First and 10 from midfield. Left twitch to counteract Williams. Williams gains 3 down to the 47. Goose, you were telling us you played your first NFL game right here at Ralph Wilson Stadium.
First one as a rookie on the kickoff return. Down there almost where they're at on the 20-yard line, and I had 3 magnificent plays. 2 holding calls and 1 personal foul. I'll tell you what, I was going 100 miles an hour. They told me if I was going to make a mistake, and I made them. But tell you what, this is a great stadium to play in. The fans are awesome, especially going to the locker room, man. They really like the visiting team.
Second down and 7.
Kyle Williams, my goodness. He almost took the ball from center in the backfield.
Sean Mahan, very alert. The new starting center for the Bucs fell on it.
Watch number 95. Whoosh. Right up and over the top of Sean Mahan. As you pointed out, Kenny, great job getting back, getting on the ball.
It looks like he almost threw the ball up instead of going and giving it off to the center should do. Can't throw that ball back there.
Now Leftwich from the shotgun on 3rd down and 8.
This is real tough on offenses. This is a walk-around package. Really started with Steve Spagnuolo and Jim Johnson down in Philadelphia. Made its way to New York.
Ball start. Offense number 70. A 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
That's the left tackle, Donald Penn.
But when you've got these type of athletes that Buffalo has, the athletic defensive ends, Aaron Schobel, Chris Kelsey, now you're even using Kyle Williams, you're taking him out of the tackle spot and bringing him into the mix. So you've got all these big guys wandering around, and now it's up to the offensive line, the quarterback, to sort that out. Make sure they go big on big, and you don't get a running back put on one of these defensive linemen in protection.
Third down and 13. Bucs must get to the 40. Left witch complete. Cadillac Williams. And he is down at the 46-yard line. Tackled by Kavika Mitchell. 6 yards shy of the marker. So the Buccaneers will send out the punting unit.
Once again, like we talked earlier, Moose, looks like Byron's really getting comfortable with those dump passes and just dumping them off when he should be looking downfield and trying to make something happen, especially, 20-7. I mean, you're not going to go and make any yardage just dumping the ball off.
Johnson's punt, fair catch, called for at the 9 by Roscoe Parrish, with the Bills leading the Bucs 20-7. Darrell, I asked you during our open, what do the Bills need to do to erase the memories of their disappointing loss to the Patriots on Monday night? And as we looked at a couple of minutes ago, a fast start, and the Bills lead by 13.
Well, they've got to finish the game. Now we're coming up here at the end of the first half. It was 17-0 very quickly, but now it's only 20-7. So they're kind of gotten a little bit stagnant. Just a huge opportunity missed on that last drive with a great deep ball to Terrell Owens, went right through his hands. But right now, Tampa Bay is comfortable trading field position with Buffalo. They've kind of weathered that storm, and as long as that big play nemesis from last week doesn't raise its head, like it looks like it's going to do right here.
Fred Jackson found a couple of holes, and it's finally brought down at the 33-yard line. A 24-yard pickup by Jackson.
He's had a nice game this afternoon here in the first half. Presses to the play side, gets through the back door, makes a nice cut right there, gets a great block from the umpire, and then tries to get on Terrell Owens back for a little bit of a ride.
Barrett Ruud finally brought him down. Here's Jackson again. Jackson with a burst out to the 41-yard line. He gains 8 more.
Really nice at stretching and then getting his shoulders squared north and south down the field. So he's pressing. When he makes his cut, he gets real square and explodes upfield.
70 yards for Jackson, replaced in the backfield by Xavier Oman, who carried the ball twice last week. Off the fake to Oman. Edwards rolling right. And he throws it out of bounds. Tim Crowder with pressure on Edwards. So a 3rd and 2 upcoming. And I think we mentioned it earlier, Dick Duran really showed something to his team and to this crowd by going for it on that 4th and inches on his own side of the field earlier.
As you pointed out, Kenny, an aggressive play call by a defensive-minded head coach. You're at your 37-yard line. If it backfires, you've given Tampa Bay great field position with an opportunity to get back into the game. Now, no points came from that. Well, they did get a field goal after the consecutive face mask penalties.
We're down at 2. Inside handoff. Jackson. Good second effort. First down and more into Bucs territory to the Tampa Bay 48-yard line as we hit the 2-minute warning. Jackson gains 13 more yards. So the Bills are on the move. Kenny Albert, Darrell Johnston, Tony Siragusa back at Orchard Park, New York. Bills lead the Buccaneers 20-7. Bills will honor some of their all-time greats at halftime. There's Marv Levy, bottom right corner. 1st and 10 from the Tampa Bay 47. This is Jackson. Jackson out of Cole College, same alma mater as Marv Levy and Kurt Menefee.
Excellent segue.
Cole College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. There's Marv chatting with Thurman Thomas. Andre Reed. Lee Evans wears his number, scored the first touchdown today. Jackson again. Wrestled down inside the 35. This is the 50th season of Buffalo Bills football, and members of the Bills' 50th season all-time team will be honored coming up at the half. 2nd down and 9. Penalty marker off the play fake. Edwards takes off. He has a first down. He's inside the 20, the 15, and takes a hard hit at the 14-yard line from Albert Mack. But Edwards pops right back up.
Looks like Mack got the hard one. On that one, woo!
Looks like Brad Butler is down for the Buffalo Bills, the right tackle back where the pocket was.
Offside. Defense number 90 in the neutral zone with the snap. And penalties decline. Buffalo is charged with their first team timeout because of an injury timeout.
That's Butler, the right tackle.
Offsides on Gaines Adams on the left side. Now it's a free play for Trent Edwards. But what he does here is he recognizes that it's man coverage. Everybody has their back turned to him, so he's going to pull the ball down and run. And then watch this at the end with Albert Mack. Take that. Now Albert Mack has to get up. He absolutely has to get up. No matter how hard his head hurts right now, he has to get up and walk back to the huddle.
It doesn't matter. You cannot let your teammates see that a quarterback got you out.
It wasn't the kicker, guys.
It doesn't
matter.
They're on the same level.
Butler will be replaced at right tackle by Jonathan Scott.
And that doesn't look good for Brad Butler, walking very gingerly off the field. Now, he is the only member of the offensive line that was here last year, starting at the guard position, moved out to tackle. Obviously, Jeff Handgartner came over in free agency. But this inexperienced offensive line just got a little bit more inexperienced.
Scott replacing Butler. 52 seconds remaining in the half. Bills with 2 timeouts. 1st and 10 from the Bucs 14. 3 wide receivers set. Edwards to the end zone. Intended for the tight end Derek Schumann.
We have to pay off Tampa Bay, Tony, because Buffalo came out. They wanted to attack the middle of the field. They saw the vulnerability last week against Dallas in the middle of the field with the safeties. And Jim Bates' group has done a nice job securing that middle.
They really have. A lot more cover, too, I'm seeing out here, Moose. Safeties look a lot more confident. Piscatelli looks like he knows where he's going. Communication looks a lot better than we saw last week against the Cowboys.
Guys, Trent Edwards 0 for his last 6. 2nd and 10. Keeps it on the ground. The handoff to Jackson. And Jackson is taken down by Rodney Barber. The football came loose, and goose, this is Sammy Piscatelli. One man to beat, it's the quarterback, Edwards. Parrish trying to take him down from behind, and he does.
Great hustle by Roscoe Parrish. Now, one of the reasons I think Roscoe Parrish hustled so much is because his block on the outside here in the slot was not too good. And that kind of forces Fred Jackson outside, and there's where the ball comes loose. So actually the guy that Roscoe Parrish was supposed to block makes the tackle that jars the ball loose. But at least he got back into the play and hustled down Sammy Piscatelli. Now let's see how that hustle pays off for this Buffalo Bills defense. Can they hold them to a field goal here at the end of the half?
First and goal from the 8. Leftwich fires. Touchdown. Cadillac Williams.
What a change of events. I mean, the momentum is all Buffalo. Getting ready to go in at halftime. 23-7, 27-7, and all of a sudden, they're staring at 20-14.
Mike Nugent adding the extra point. A 14-point swing and the first receiving touchdown of Cadillac Williams' career.
Cadillac lined up in the backfield right here. Not a whole lot to it, just a zone check down route by the back. Some routes crossing in front of the zone, and then he just kind of sneaks into that soft spot. Made it look very easy.
Looks like Raheem should get some pads on, man. That was a nice hit right there, Moose.
Seen a few helmets knocked off, but never the headset knocked off.
How about Goose's timing? He had just mentioned that the Bucs don't look somewhat confused as they did on defense last week. He mentioned that Piscatelli has been in the right place at the right time, and he certainly was, picking up the fumble and returning at 76 yards.
I'm the pick man this week.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention the opening play. Come on, Kenny, if you're gonna give me some props, give them to me, baby.
That was preparation and hard work to get the opening play. There was no feel there whatsoever.
Selling me out,
no
man,
feel
down
there
the river. On the jet boat, down the river.
Now, interesting, the Bills do not send out McKelvin here with 27 seconds remaining in the half. Instead, it is Xavier Oman.
What are you saying, Kenny?
That is interesting. And the short kickoff is taken out to the 36-yard line by Spencer Johnson.
Sebi Piscatelli, I mean, he has had to weather the storm all week long, answer questions. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Got some great advice from actually an ex-Buccaneer, John Lynch. Hey, you know, all you can do is wait till the next Sunday and wait for the opportunity to do something to remedy your performance last week. Everybody's going to have a bad day in the NFL. Nobody's immune from it. It's what you do the next time you take the field. He's played well. He's put himself in good position and makes a big play there to help the Buccaneers close this gap before the half.
22 seconds remaining. Bills have 2 timeouts. From the 35, Jackson. Jackson is over 100 yards on the ground here in the first half as the Bills use their second timeout, each team with 1 remaining. How about Drew Brees, guys? 9 touchdown passes over the first 2 games. Kurt Warner sets an NFL record, 92.3 completion percentage and a career high 4 touchdown passes for Matt Schaub of the Texans.
Should we take the fork out of Arizona?
Ask your former coach. Edwards complete out of the 49-yard line to Josh Reed. And the Bills use their final timeout. What Darryl is referring to is the comment made by Jimmy Johnson on our pregame show today. He said, stick a fork in Arizona. They are done. And the Cardinals come up with a 31-17 victory over Jacksonville.
They did not play well last week against San Francisco, and I can see where his perspective came from. But it's so hard nowadays. The first month of the season, we don't know what's going to happen. Who would have thought that Tennessee'd be off to an 0-2 start?
Kurt Warner, 24 of 26 today, breaking the NFL record, which had been held by Vinny Testaverde, who completed 91% of his passes in a game against the Rams for the Browns back in '93. 8 seconds remaining, first half. From midfield, Edwards complete to the tight end, Schumann, but the Bills are out of timeouts. We get set for the second half here in Orchard Park. Some big plays on both sides, Darryl, in the first half.
The impressive thing, though, Tampa Bay responded to him this week. Last week, if we put the big plays up on the board, Tampa Bay was not represented. It was all Dallas. So at least this week, Tampa Bay has some big plays of their own during the course of the first half.
And a huge swing at the end of the half. Could have been a 20-point game. The fumble, instead it's 6.
Well, kind of at the same point right now. It was 20-14 Dallas in the fourth quarter last week, and then they fell apart. Buffalo had a lead late in the game against New England. They fell apart. So really, my big question at the top of the broadcast, can the Buffalo Bills prove that they can finish a game? And we're going to have to wait and see, because they jumped out in front very quickly. It was 17-0 in the first quarter, but since that point, it's been 14-3 Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay kind of weathered the storm, hung in there. We'll see what they do here to start the half.
The first half numbers. 2 early turnovers committed by the Bucs. Mike Nugent will kick off again. It's Xavier Oman and not Leonis McKelvin back deep for the Bills. taken 3 yards deep by Oman. Oman out across the 20 to the 22-yard line. So Trent Edwards leads the Bills offense out to begin this second half. Edwards 6 of 13. Early touchdown to Evans, and then took some shots downfield, including one that went through the hands of Terrell Owens.
Yeah, that was going to be a really big play. He ran a great route, got beyond to keep Talib, one-on-one situation, and Trent Edwards threw a perfect ball, went right through his hands. So an opportunity for Terrell to make a really, really big play in that second quarter.
First and 10 from the 22-yard line off the play fake to Jackson. Edwards for the tight end Schumann, and he gains just 1 before he is forced out of bounds by Geno Hayes. Jackson gains 5 out to the 28-yard line, setting up 3rd down and 4. First down as the catch is made by Josh Reed, who did not catch a ball last week. It's his second reception today for a gain of 13.
There's an intermediate route that I think you also can't forget about here. Is screen passes and check downs and all that, but it's also not just going straight down the field on go routes. I mean, there's an intermediate area that they need to work.
On first down, short gain for Jackson as Ryan Sims brings him down.
I don't know, Moose, the feeling down here on the field with Buffalo is coming out here a little flat. Trying to run the ball, really no enthusiasm, not really coming off the ball. I don't know if they're trying to pace themselves, but they need to go and get some points up on the board and get that momentum back that they had earlier.
Second down and 9, the play blown dead.
False start. Offense number 82. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Josh Reed.
Kind of a result right there, what you're talking about, Tony, kind of a lackadaisical start to this second half. Obviously, didn't finish the first half very well either.
Yeah, absolutely not the same pace they had with the no huddle early in the game and throwing the ball downfield and changing it up. Now it's more of a slower on the line of scrimmage that you're looking at right now.
Edwards on 2nd and 14. Brought down at the 36-yard line by Roy Miller. Loss of 2 on the play. Miller, the 3rd-round draft pick out of Texas, who left with an ankle injury in the first half, comes back and records the sack.
And he gets hit hard. And Trent Edwards at the end of this play gains Adams coming back, rolling underneath. You can see right there, Trent Edwards a little bit dinged.
Took some big shots today.
3rd down and 16. Bills must get to the Bucs 48. Inside handoff to Jackson. And now the Bills will send out the punting unit.
Tony, I think you're exactly right. Yeah, they came out here with no sense of urgency to start this second half after the way that they finished that first half with that game-changing turnover, and that's very disappointing.
They should have showed them the clips from last week.
Well, since that opening drive, they came out, they threw everything at them, on the opening drive, and then they all of a sudden settled into a comfort zone. I mean, it was a great start, but they haven't followed it up with anything else.
Mormon, who was honored at halftime as part of that 50th anniversary team, put a little too much on it. There is a flag.
There's a flag down.
Hey. Ineligible man downfield, number 86 of the kicking team. Tampa Bay has elected the option to assess the penalty at the dead ball spot, 20-yard line. First down.
Buccaneers on offense. They start from their own 20-yard line. Reggie Corner in at right cornerback for the Bills. Leotis Kelvin is left with an ankle injury. We did not see him on the return team to start the second half. Leftwich swings it out on first down. And Cadillac Williams takes it out across the 25. Brian Scott makes the tackle. Cadillac, Darrell, in the first half, 5 carries, only 5 yards.
Yeah, not what we saw last week from a production standpoint, but you mentioned the fact that Ernest Graham, when he got in there, he had some nice plays, kind of got into a little bit of a roll, and, you wonder if these guys will get to the point where, hey, he's got the hot hand right now, let him take mine. I don't know, when you got a guy like Cadillac, he's very, very dynamic. I think he has to have his touches. He can't sit out. He can't let somebody else go.
On second down, here's Cadillac. And Williams out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Marcus Bucs made the tackle after a gain of 5.
That's one thing watching Cadillac this week and last week, Moose, is, we talked about it. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage and makes those extra yards that a normal back would go down. I mean, he turns everything into a positive, coming upfield, driving his legs. That hidden yardage that he gets is a lot more than I see the other guys getting right now.
Third down and 4. Leftwich to Slaughter. Ball came free. And it rolls out of bounds. Back at the 25-yard line.
I was going to say.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Makes it 4th down.
Sammy Stroughter never really has possession of the ball. He's got it kind of trapped against his chest with his forearm, but he hasn't really established possession.
So Tampa Bay goes 3 and out. Dirk Johnson punting from his own 20-yard line to Roscoe Parrish, end over end. Parrish lets it bounce, takes a Bucs roll, and will be down at the 6-yard line. Bills lead by 6. Will start at their own 6-yard line following the 63-yard punt and roll, a career long for Dirk Johnson.
Yeah, you don't want to let that ball hit the ground. We've maybe got some sunshade issues on the field, but Roscoe Parrish is too good to let that happen.
Edwards complete to the tight end, Schumann. Schumann forced out of bounds by Quincy Black after a gain of 6.
We'll see if Alex Van Pelt gets to a point somewhere early in this drive where he feels comfortable from a field position standpoint, that he gets a little aggressive with his play calling.
Second and 4, the toss to Fred Jackson. Jackson tackled back at the 10-yard line. Gino Hayes along with Gaines Adams, and a penalty flag comes in. Loss of 2 on the play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 54. Because the foul happened behind the line of scrimmage and the run ended behind the line of scrimmage, the penalty is assessed from the dead ball spot, 15 yards.
We saw back-to-back face mask penalties earlier.
That's number 4. I mean, sometimes the penalty happens because of aggressive defensive play, but right now it's just poor technique. The hands are all up near the face mask.
On the 25, it's Edwards hitting Schumann once again.
Moose, you talked about it. That 15-yard penalty got him outside the 20-yard line. Now I think Alex Van Pelt should be in a comfortable zone where he can really open this offense up, take some shots down the field, and try to gain some momentum. As we talked about it, coming out of halftime, both of these teams are flat. A lot of penalties. One of them has to take advantage of this.
Jackson. Out to the 38-yard line.
Jackson with the handoff.
Jimmy Wilkerson made the tackle. Short gain of 2. The tight end Schumann has become Edwards' favorite target today. 4 of Edwards' 10 receptions have gone to the third-year tight end out of Boise State. Aqib Talib is the injured Buck. Aqib Talib injured on the last play, replaced by Torrey Cox.
You got to go after whoever comes in for Aqib Talib right now. I think it's probably going to be Rondé Barber on Terrell Owens, which could be a good matchup. You know, Rondé's very physical. Terrell, you know, he doesn't like the jam, the press coverage. But I'll take a shot right now because Aqib's probably going to be right back in after this play.
Cox matched up against Lee Evans. Edwards on 2nd and 8. Can't find anyone downfield. Dumps it off. The catch is made by Jackson. Hit immediately by Geno Hayes. Loss of 4 on the play.
Yeah, I don't like that play call right there. I'm going to go one-on-one with Terrell on the outside against Rondé Barber. Now, Savvy Piscatelli was over that way. He had help over the top. You can see Savvy right there at the top of your screen. But I would have forced the play a little bit more because you know, Aqib was only out that one play, and now he's matched back up with Terrell Owens.
5 defensive backs, 3rd down and 12. Edwards with time. Now pressure. Down he goes, wrapped up by Jimmy Wilkerson. Taken down back at the 25-yard line.
Working against Jonathan Scott, who's in there in replace of Brad Butler, who got hurt in the first half. Now that's one of the areas that Sean Kugler, the offensive line coach, was worried about. In the Monday night game against the Patriots, he felt his offensive line, they're young and inexperienced, struggled a little bit with some twists and some stunts by the Patriot defensive line.
That's a little bit on Trent Edwards, too. He's got to get rid of the ball. If it's not out by 1,000, 2,000, you got to go and throw that ball out of bounds. I mean, you're out of the pocket, get rid of it.
3rd sack for the Bucs today. Mormon's punt. Taken out to 26 by Smith. And Smith returns it out across the 30. Buffalo Bills led this game 17-0 after 1 quarter. Buccaneers have chipped away.
Trent Edwards with a little bruise on his wrist. I'm sure he'll be okay now.
Studying the photos as Byron Leftwich and the Bucs go back to work from their own 31-yard line. Leftwich fires complete. Winslow out at the 49, a gain of 18.
They need that more. I mean, they hit it and then they'll go away from it for like 2 or 3 series at a time. I mean, it's a matchup they like coming into the game. We've already had one big play by Kellen Winslow for the touchdown. It's just not become a consistent enough play. If that's where you think you match up well and you can stretch the field with the tight end versus the linebackers and the safeties, we need to see it a little bit more.
Derek Ward in the backfield on 1st down. The give to Ward. And he is out to midfield, picks up 2. Brian Scott made the tackle. Derek Ward will face his former team next week. What a rough schedule over the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season for Tampa Bay.
Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, you catch the NFC East this season, but then you catch all 4 of them in the first 5 weeks. Man, just a brutal start to the schedule for Tampa Bay.
Next 3 opponents, Giants, Redskins, Eagles, and the Patriots in London in late October. 2nd down and 8. And the pass broken up by the appropriately named right quarterback, Reggie Corner.
Well, here's some good film study because you've got the blitz set up. You get it protected, but watch. They know the adjustment. He's going to go out there. I'm going to jump it. I know it's the post route coming back inside. I'm going to jump it. Tampa Bay does a nice job blocking everything up. Reggie Corner, that's some good work with your film study right there during the week.
Corner in for the injured Leonis McKelvin. 3rd down and 8. Leftwich to the outside, and not enough for the 1st down. Winslow stopped about 1.5 yards shy.
Here's a decision for Raheem Morris for Tampa Bay. Just over 1 yard, it looks like. He didn't take long to make his decision.
He's going. Where he tries to draw you offside with the snap count.
Leftwich hands it off, and Ward is stopped short. Terrific penetration. And the Bucs turn it over on downs.
Let's go back and take a look at that last play. Penetration on the inside, but Donald Penn's got to get out, get on Dante Whitner. He gets tied up in there. I don't know what he's doing. If he comes out and gets Dante Whitner covered up, there's a chance that they convert that.
And the Bills come out there with an empty backfield. 5 receivers, everybody out. Edwards looking on first down. He throws, and that is catch number 2 today for Terrell Owens, brought down by Geno Hayes after gaining 4. The Bills today scored on their first 3 possessions, a touchdown, 2 field goals, along with a defensive touchdown, but nothing since.
It's been a lack of emotion, no sense of urgency. You get out to that quick lead, and they've kind of taken their foot off the accelerator a little bit.
Empty backfield again. Edwards over the middle. And a first down. 5th catch for the tight end. Schumann on the Bucs side, Darryl. Jermaine Phillips is out, the free safety, replaced by Will Allen.
They are so thin in the secondary. One of the issues that happened last week in that Dallas game, and Raheem Morris told us is, you know, I might have played a little bit too aggressive and wore those guys out. And in the end of the game, they were tired, and that's when the mistakes happen. So they cannot afford to lose anybody else from the secondary.
1st and 10 from the Tampa Bay 42. Edwards over the middle to Jackson. Close to a first down. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Edwards is picked off. The throw is high, and it's Sabby Piscatelli. Check that, Barrett Ruud on the return. On the lateral from Piscatelli. And for Trent Edwards, that is his first pick today.
Well, that was just a bad throw by Trent Edwards. No excuse. Lee Evans in the slot. Gets around Rondé Barber. A lot of coverage there, but you can't say that. You can see Sabby Piscatelli playing the deep safety spot. A heads-up play by Sabby to lateral it to Barrett Ruud. And again, just no sense of urgency by the Bills. Watch the pursuit to the ball now. I mean, there's not a whole lot of hustle and a whole lot of effort there getting to that guy carrying the ball back.
Not a whole lot. There was no effort there at all.
Ward hit in the backfield by Brian Scott.
I mean, they're coming down hard. I mean, now's the time for some play action pass. You know, get your favorite run, get the fake, and get your tight end down the field. I mean, Kellen Winslow, come on now. He's up there for a reason. Nice play, Brian Scott.
Loss of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 13. Leftwich looking for Winslow.
Byron Leftwich takes a nice hit there. Dante Whitner coming on the outside.
You got Jeremy Trueblood's got 2 guys coming. Now he kind of leaves the guy he's supposed to go to. There's confusion by the running back in the tackle in pass protection. If you're going to go to a guy and you got to lock on, you can't start to go to him and then move off to a different guy. You had 2 people blocking the same rusher. You had Derek Ward and Jeremy Trueblood blocking the defensive end, and Dante Whitner comes free for the hit on the quarterback.
From the 28-yard line, 3rd down and 13. Leftwich wrapped up, down he goes, loses the football, but it bounces to Ward. However, Leftwich was ruled down. So the Bucs will send out the punting unit. They are unable to capitalize on the Bills' turnover.
Well, Byron Leftwich got lucky here because he's got that ball hanging out there loose, under duress. We saw him try to make something happen when the negative play was happening in the first half that led to an interception for a touchdown.
That was Kyle Williams again on that fumble.
Johnson angling it away from Parrish. Penalty marker. Punt down at the 17.
We had one of the cover guys for Tampa Bay was out of bounds, and then he became the first guy to touch the ball.
Which is why the official threw his hat. The signal for a player coming in from out of bounds.
Well, if you see an official with a hat, his hat off, that means somebody went out of bounds.
Illegal touch of a kick. Number 85 of the kicking team. Went out of bounds, came back in, was first to touch the ball. Buffalo has elected to assess the 5-yard penalty at the previous spot. Repeat, 4th down.
Maurice Stovall went out of bounds and then came back in, touched the football first.
And I don't think he meant to touch it. He just, you know, the ball took a crazy hop, and then all of a sudden it kind of hits him. But the second one, if it had to miss him on the first one, he was going to get that penalty on the second one.
So they will do it again. So a redo. I wonder if they'll have any repunts tonight in Dallas. Another flag.
Now you are stirring the pot this afternoon.
Another official with his hat off, Moose. You know what that means? Somebody went out of bounds.
Side judge Tom Hill.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 31, the receiving team, blocking a kicking team player out of bounds. A 15-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down.
Jairus Byrd, the guilty Buffalo Bill.
This has been a tough series here. Working on Brian Clark. I don't like that call. I mean, you're kind of battling on the outside. It's one of the most physical spots during the course of a game, is the battle between the cover guy when he gets double teamed on the punt team. And I guarantee Jairus Byrd had no idea that he was on the sideline. He's just battling, fighting. I know by rule, I don't know, sometimes you just got to call it by the rule, but if I'm a coach, I'll be okay with that one on Monday morning in film study.
By the way, that interception thrown by Edwards on the last Bills possession, his first in 170 attempts. Now the end around to Roscoe Parrish, and Parrish has a 1st down. He had the 1st down, then he cut back.
That was a nice cut by Roscoe Parrish there, Moose.
Tough for Tim Crowder having Roscoe Parrish coming your way.
Oh, let's take a look at that cut. He comes on the...
He does. Look at it. He plays it perfect. He does everything right.
A defensive lineman and defensive ends, they can't stop that fast.
But he did his job. He had to go back inside. He's contained. Back in. Turn him back inside your teammates.
You told me that. That's what we teach the little kids when we coach them. Turn everything back inside your help.
Don't let him beat you to the sideline.
2nd down and 1, empty backfield. Edwards' pass is caught. His favorite target today, Schumann. And Schumann, who remains down, holding his right knee, picks up a Bills 1st down. Gain of 7. Schumann with 6 catches today, 3rd year out of Boise State.
And again, Trent Edwards took a big hit right as he delivered this ball. And it's the stunts up front again, Tony. It took Tampa Bay a while to get to this, but they're running some twists up front to challenge the offensive linemen. And they are coming clean. This time Tim Crowder just gets inside. Now, as you're working this during the course of the week, Eric Wood, the starting right guard, is going to work with Brad Butler on a lot of them. Now he's working with Jonathan Scott. Wow. That looked ugly.
Yes. Foot gets caught under there. You know, Trent Edwards, Moose, we got to talk about him too, how he stands in the pocket. I'll tell you what, he's been a beast standing in the pocket, knows he's going to get hit, stays in there, delivers the throw, takes the hit, but gets the ball downfield. I mean, that's he's been doing it all day today.
He's played well. You know, he played well on Monday night. I thought he was very, very efficient. Yeah, there was a couple opportunities down the field to take a shot that he didn't get to, but still, the way he played, he put this team in a position to win the game, and you hate to see this when the cart comes out. That is not good.
Derek Schumann with team leading 6 receptions, 5 here in the third quarter. Derek Schumann will be driven off on the cart. Look of concern on head coach Dick Duran's face.
Yeah, I think when Derek Schumann was down, you could see how emotional he was. I think we've got potentially season-ending injury.
Bills lost their starting right tackle Brad Butler earlier in this game to a knee injury. Last week lost starting middle linebacker Paul Posluszny, broken bone in his left arm on Monday night. And now the starting tight end Derek Schumann.
I know they're part of the game, but when you get them where you're losing people for the season or for 6 to 8 weeks, it can really just kind of change the course of your year. All that hard work through the offseason and OTAs and training camp can kind of get thrown out of whack awful quick.
1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Edwards over the top to Jackson. Jackson stays on his feet, finally down at the 48-yard line, tackled by Baron Roode after gaining 6. Time winding down in this third quarter. Bills led 17-0 after 1. 20-14 at the half. No scoring here in the third quarter. Jackson. It's just 1. They barber it on the tackle, so 3rd down and 3 coming up for the Bills. As this third quarter comes to an end in Orchard Park, New York. Bills owner Ralph Wilson Jr., member of the 2009 Hall of Fame class. The Bills, the only original AFL team to have remained, Darryl, in their originating city with their original owner. And you grew up watching the Bills here in the Buffalo area?
Yes, I did.
3rd down and 3. Pass is caught for a 1st down by Josh Reed. Reed takes it down to the 37-yard line. He picks up 14.
That's why it was hard for me Monday night watching the game to see the way that it unfolded at the end, because I know the way these fans are back here.
The excruciating 1-point loss to the Patriots.
Well, this was effective earlier in the game. The empty set.
Edwards rolling right. And he's out of bounds at the 35.
So, Moose, when you were younger, were you one of the guys who came 72 hours before the game in the parking lot, and tailgating or anything like that, like they had here?
No, when I came here, I would come when I was young. My dad would bring me when I was little. So, at that age, you know, there's no sense in being here 72 hours before the game. But when I played here, and you know, practice, you come to the stadium for a walkthrough on Saturday morning and see how many people are out tailgating already.
The parking lot's full.
Oh my goodness, like college.
Unbelievable.
2nd down and 8. Edwards to Jackson. And Jackson has the Bills' 1st down at the Bucs 26.
We talked about Trent Edwards standing in the pocket, deliver the throws. It's a little 3-step drop right here. Oh, he just stands right in there. Gino Hayes comes in and delivers a nice blow, but tell you what, he impressed me a lot, this guy, Trent. You know, he comes in there, he takes some blows, delivers some blows. Very impressed, Moose.
Fred Jackson, 3 yards.
Well, I think as a teammate, you appreciate that when you know he can stand in the pocket and he's going to, you know, you block everything up. A lot of times people don't realize it's not a blown protection. The way everything is set up, there's just going to be a guy that comes free, and it's up to the quarterback to stand in there, deliver the pass, and take the hit. And Trent has done that this afternoon when he's been asked to, and he's also stood there when they've had some breakdowns and guys have gotten free.
Gino Hayes is the injured Buck. Early 4th quarter, Bills driving. They lead by 6. Early 4th quarter, Bills leading the Bucs 20-14. Goose impressed with Trent Edwards. Edwards in the second half, 12 of 13. with 5 of those 12 completions going to Schumann, who was out of the game due to an injury. Edwards on second down, complete to Josh Reed. And Reed has a Bills first down at the 12-yard line. 11-yard pass play.
Well, they're finding that soft spot in the middle now. You know, it's not the dump offs. They're actually creating some stuff to get Josh Reed back into the middle of the field. You can't cover everything. You know, you've got the ability to get down the field with Terrell Owens and Lee Evans. There's got to be a vulnerability somewhere on the defense. And on this drive, Trent Edwards has found it right there in the middle at that linebacker level.
Empty backfield, Owens split to the left, 10th play of the drive. Edwards underneath, intended for Oman. So a 2nd and 10 upcoming.
We'll see if they can finish this drive. The last time they got down into the red zone, they had the fumble that Sabby Piscatelli took all the way back right before the half.
Piscatelli with a fumble recovery and an interception for the Bucs today. Empty backfield, 2nd and 10. Edwards looking, he throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Fred Jackson.
I didn't like that one, Goose. He looked very, very tentative when he made that throw. That was a throw and hope.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I like circled Terrell Owens down at the bottom of the screen. I thought that he was one-on-one, but it just really didn't come off the line of scrimmage like I thought he was gonna. Seems like after that reverse, it took a little bit out of him. It seems like he's been a little lackadaisical out there, T.O.
Well, Owens now split to the left. Reed in the slot. Evans split to the right. 3rd down and 10. Edwards, Jackson. Oh, and he takes a hard hit from Jermaine Phillips. Brought down at the 9-yard line. And the Bills will send in the field goal unit.
I don't like that, Moose. I think they should take a shot at the end zone at some point. You know, those little short passes over the middle and the runs that we saw in this last series. This, I think, is a screen play here. I'd rather see him go. He's got T.O. He's got the height advantage there in the secondary. Put the ball up, let him go for it.
Yeah, not very aggressive. And, you know, Tampa Bay worked on screens all week long. The screen pass was very effective Monday night against New England. So you know that's one play that Tampa Bay wasn't going to let Buffalo have success with.
Timeout, Tampa Bay.
Timeout called by the Bucs.
First.
There he is, Terrell Owens. 2 receptions Monday night, 2 so far today.
Yeah, I think a little bit of frustration from Terrell right now. Number 1, not a lot of opportunities. Number 2, the one really, really big opportunity he didn't finish that play. So, and we've talked about Sabby Piscatelli having a chance to make amends for his performance last week. I think that Terrell would like an opportunity to get that drop ball back.
Ryan Lindell, 27-yard attempt from the right hash. Lindell now 3 for 3. The Bills drive 13 plays, 64 yards, and extend their lead.
A nice drive. You know, the field goal there is huge. And, you know, everybody would love to score 7 points, but it makes it a 2-possession game for the Buffalo Bills with 11:23 to go in the 4th quarter.
Lindell kicks it off. Clifton Smith takes a knee. So the Bucs will start at their own 20. So the Bucs trailing by 9, back to work from their own 20-yard line. Leftwich off his back foot. Closest Buck in the vicinity was the tight end Jeremy Stevens, and Kavika Mitchell with the pressure on the hit on Leftwich.
Anybody want to block the guy coming right between the center and the guard?
9 guys in the box. You don't know who's coming. Pick somebody up. Pick somebody up. Man.
Ernest Graham in the backfield, 2nd and 10. Leftwich steps up and throws. Pass is short. Intended for Stevens. This time it was Chris Kelsey with the pressure.
Tampa Bay is getting really aggressive right now. They just brought Rondé Barber off the edge, and that left Keith Ellison man-to-man with Michael Clayton. Watch Rondé come off the edge. Now in the slot, Michael Clayton running with Keith Ellison. I'm sorry, it was Dante Whitner. Dante Whitner, my fault. Very aggressive by the Buffalo Bills right there.
They're bringing everybody, Moose.
Yeah.
They're bringing them all.
Leftwich on 3rd and 10. The catch is made, but brought down 3 yards shy of the marker is Kellen Winslow.
Looks like Leftwich wants to go for it, but I think Raheem is going to go and live to play another day.
Yeah, you have to kick right here. You have to kick right here.
Too much time on the clock.
That's a good job by Terrence McGee getting him down. No, you can't. It just, you're giving the game away right now. If you go for it on 4th down, you get stuffed.
Let the defense do their job. Good hang time on the Johnson punt. Roscoe Parrish. Parrish tackled at the 47-yard line. Big return, 17 yards. .23 remaining, 4th quarter. Bills with a 9-point lead. And terrific field position. They start from their own 46. This is Fred Jackson, who's been a workhorse once again today for Buffalo. And he takes it into Buccaneers territory, a gain of 6.
He really has. He's ran the ball very well today. And, you know, it was a question coming out of training camp for the Buffalo Bills about Fred Jackson. How would that running game do in the first part of the year with Marshawn Lynch out of the lineup? And he's done a very, very nice job filling in. Ran very hard today. A lot of yards after contact.
119 yards on the ground for Jackson.
We love backs like that, right, Moose?
Yeah,
After they get hit, they just keep going.
Second down and 4. Jackson again, penalty marker. As Jackson is close to a 1st down to the Bucs. 44, Tim Crowder made the tackle.
Offside. Defense number 20. Mooches off the snap. A 5-yard penalty that results in a 1st down.
There's my Rondé Barber blitz.
There you go.
They knew he was coming sooner or later, Moose. Just gets his foot across the line of scrimmage. If he gets back, he wouldn't be offsides, but he should have showed the blitz a little bit too early.
Barber, the 13-year vet, we talked to him before the game. This is the only NFL city he had never played in during the regular season.
That's amazing. He hasn't played in all the new stadiums, but this was actually a city he'd never had the opportunity to play in.
Off the play fake, Edwards going deep for Terrell Owens. He makes the catch for the touchdown.
Looks like he's back into it now, Moose.
Yeah, that's a lot different than it was after the last series.
I don't think he's going to be sitting on the bench for any time soon. This place is on fire right now, and so is he.
He's a piece of work. Well, here's the thing that he was upset about Monday night. You get one-on-one on the outside. Let's take a shot. Battling Aqib Talib down the sideline. I tell you, there's something different when he throws the ball to Terrell. It's thrown with a better trajectory. He gives him the opportunity to get out and adjust and run underneath it. He's still getting used to Lee Evans on the deep ball this afternoon. Even though they had a touchdown on one, I haven't been real impressed with that ball. But the ones he's thrown to Terrell down the field have been very, very well thrown footballs.
For Terrell Owens, the 140th touchdown reception of his NFL career, second to Jerry Rice, who caught 197. On our pregame show, Terry Bradshaw predicted 9 touchdowns for T.O. this season. This his first as a member of the Buffalo Bills.
Well, he averaged 13 in 3 years with Dallas. I mean, I think 9 would be a heck of a year for him up here.
No Bill has ever caught more than 11 touchdowns in one season. You know, you think back to last week, the 3 big plays, 3 touchdown passes of over 40 yards against Tampa. Bills with a couple of long ones today. Lee Evans, 32 yards, and now 43 yards from Edwards to Owens. Very different, though. Last week against Dallas, technique, maybe a little bit of fatigue in the fourth quarter with some of those mistakes. Today they've just been beaten one-on-one on the outside. Lee Evans got him for the first one. Terrell Owens gets him for the second one. But very, very different results in the long plays today.
That was pretty good coverage, too, by Talib. Not like he got burnt downfield. I mean, it was just a great catch and a great throw by Trent. You know, you're gonna get them, but he was right there. I mean, I don't think he could have defended it any better except for maybe knocking the ball down right before he was going to catch it.
Leftwich to Cadillac Williams. And Cadillac all the way out to the 38, a late flag, gain of 18. Still a 2-possession game when you take the 2-point conversion into account, with the Bills leading now by 16.
During the run, illegal block in the back. Number 18, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
That's on Sammy Stroughter.
There he is right at the top of your screen coming down. That's an easy one.
That's an easy one for the officials to see, too. You just got to put your hands up and just let him run into you at that point.
You just got to trust in Cadillac. Cadillac's going to make a play. You know, let him either make a move on him or lower his shoulder and try and run him over, but keep the positive yards that he's already gained for you.
From the 25. Leftwich over the top to Winslow. And a nice tackle made by Brian Scott to bring him down after a gain of just 3.
I tell you, there's not many yards after the catch in the Buffalo secondary. That's a pretty sure group of tacklers.
Second down and 2. Leftwich complete. And a first down to Maurice Stovall. Down to the 47-yard line. Stovall gains 19.
How many times do we see this, Tony, where you think that a team, takes control of the game, they get into this situation, they play that soft coverage in Buffalo? I felt they did it against New England last week on Monday night, too.
Leftwich firing downfield a bit high for Stovall.
You're right, Moose. The thing that I don't like is not bringing any pressure on the guy. You know, if you got a quarterback that's going to be just sit back there in the pocket, I mean, bring an extra guy.
Yeah. I don't understand it. You play a certain way all game long and it's effective, and then you get to a situation where you're up by 2 scores and you go into this defensive shell.
Second and 10 from the 47.
We'll take a look and see what happened here. I think Byron Leftwich expected Brian Clark to go in a different direction. He tried to hold on to it, tried to pump fake it, but because he throws, no, that's just a bad throw, huh?
That slid right out of his hand, it looked like. You're not going to stop that punt fake.
Yeah.
Now watch that wind-up starts. It's hard to stop that one.
Leftwich on 3rd and 10. Gets rid of it. And the catch is made by Cadillac Williams, and he reaches across and looks to have a first down.
What a great individual effort by Byron Leftwich.
Unbelievable.
I don't know how he got this off. I mean, this is coming right into his face. Chris Kelsey's right there. I mean, how do you see anything? Holy cow.
The Bucs move the chains. 1st and 10. From the Bills 43. Low snap. Leftwich looking downfield. He throws. And Brian Clark was ruled out of bounds. So the clock stops with 7 minutes remaining, 4th quarter. A game in which the Bills led 17-0 and now lead by 16. As we take a look at the last play. Clark not even able to get 1 foot down in bounds.
Great job with his hands.
Looks like there's so much velocity on that ball, it sort of pulled him out of bounds. I mean, he throws a frozen rope, Byron Leftwich. That's unbelievable, his passes.
Leftwich on 2nd and 10. Way too high for 6'7" Jeremy Stevens. Not even close.
Yeah, when he just kind of looks up and watches it go over his head, that one got away from him. But kind of following your advice, Tony, you know, they've brought some pressure. You know, 3 out of the last 4 plays.
And it's affected his throws,
It
too.
absolutely has. See if he's got another Houdini left in him.
Leftwich on 3rd and 10. Ball was tipped. As the Bills brought the pressure once again. Chris Kelsey and Keith Ellison.
All right, I cannot. Okay, is that Clifton coming in from the side? I'm trying to find the screen guy. Oh, there's Clifton Smith. Let's see what happens here, because they're trying to set up the screen. Might want to hold that rush just a tad longer. I don't know what happened to Clifton, though. I couldn't find him. He's not the biggest guy in the world.
Fourth and 10. Bucs must get to the 33. Leftwich fires downfield, and the catch is made. A spectacular catch. There is a flag. The catch is made by Maurice Stovall. 38 yards.
If this play stands, there have been 2.
Holding. Defense number 26. The penalties declined. The play results in a first down.
I mean, just 2 absolutely incredible individual efforts on this drive.
What a great catch, too. Way to get it, pull it in, unbelievable. Maurice Stovall. That was a vertical like mine and yours on that one, Moose. He went up and got that one.
First and goal from the 5. Cadillac Williams bottled up. We approach 6 minutes remaining, 4th quarter here at Orchard Park. Bills leading by 16. 12th play of the drive coming up for the Bucs.
And Buffalo's defensive front has done a really nice job against the run this afternoon. Only 57 yards rushing for the Buccaneers. They had a nice afternoon last week against Dallas, up over 170.
On 2nd and goal, Leftwich. Corner of the end zone intended for Jeremy Stevens. And Leftwich with a shove back at Kavika Mitchell.
Kawika Mitchell comes scot-free through the middle and delivers an unbelievable hit on Byron Leftwich. I mean, nobody even touched him. He was on him so fast, Byron couldn't do anything.
Well, they were concerned about the walk-around package and the linebackers coming in the A-gap, and that's the gap in between the guard and center. But it is if it's something you were concerned about and something you worked on during the week, Byron Leftwich has been hit too many times with players coming in that area.
Leftwich on 3rd and goal to the end zone. Going up is Stovall, and he was out of bounds. Remember, there's no more force-out rule. You must get both feet down in bounds. So the Bucs now facing a 4th and goal.
I just think Maurice Stovall lost where he was on the field. He's got plenty of time to adjust to this ball. This is purely a jump ball. This is Maurice Stovall versus Reggie Corner. You have to know where you are. You have to know you're tight to the sideline and work your feet better. Gets kind of crazy with his feet.
Stovall split to the left. Clayton in the slot. Winslow split right. 4th and goal, low snap. Leftwich over the top, but the play is blown dead. A timeout was called by Tampa Bay prior to the snap.
Timeout request, Tampa Bay.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers trail by 16, 5.5 remaining, facing a 4th and goal from the Bills' 6-yard line. Leftwich on 4th down. Stevens, what a catch, touchdown.
Oh, that was a nice play.
Nice play. Nice delay on that, Moose. He just sat there like he was blocking and then come out after everybody went by and come out for a beautiful catch.
Great anticipation by Greg Olsen of what the Buffalo Bills were going to do in a 4th and goal situation with the game on the line.
So now the Bucs will go for 2. The Bills faced 2 two-point conversions Monday night against New England, stopped them both. This to make it an 8-point game. The pass is short, intended for Stovall. So it remains a 2-possession game with 5:27 on the clock.
Jeremy Stevens going to be right here. Watch the delay, anticipating all the blitz. Lock up. You let Dante Whitner on the inside come free. That's a nice play right there. And again, I mean, how many times we saw it all last week? Jeremy Stevens, what a stretch to go get it. Last week we watched Byron Leftwich get roughed up all afternoon. He's been roughed up again today, but with the game on the line, standing right there in the pocket. But all for naught, it kind of stays, unfortunately, a 2-possession game because they get a deflected pass at that point as it comes in for Maurice Stovall. So one of your favorite things, Goose, getting the hands up.
That's it, tipping that ball. Effective right there. Changed the whole game plan for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
2-possession game, guys. Is it too early for an onside kick?
Well, they've got the 2-minute warning and they've got 1 timeout. So, boy, you're right on that cusp.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably go for the onside kick right now. 5:20. You're going to try and run the clock down a little bit. You're not going to have much time to go and do anything, even if you do score.
Yeah, I think if they had all 3, if they had your 3 timeouts, then maybe you can think about it, about kicking it deep and trying to play defense. But in this situation, I think you got to. I agree, Tony. I just don't think there's enough time with 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning to be able to get down the field twice.
All right, here we go. Nugent keeps it on the ground. Taken out the 34-yard line by Jackson. So the Bills offense trots out onto the field with 5:23 remaining. Bills will look to take some time off the clock. They lead by 10. Fred Jackson. Jackson out across the 45-yard line.
I want to go back and take a look at this kick. I want to see if maybe they were trying to hit one of the Buffalo Bill defenders up front. Kind of hard to see. I mean, he didn't really have it at anybody, but if you decide to kick the ball deep, kick the ball deep. You know, put it into a corner when they've got everybody walked up. Kind of handed him some good field position with a strange attempt there. Don't understand it.
And Tampa Bay with only one timeout remaining. Under 5 minutes on the clock, fourth quarter. From the 46 on 2nd and 7, this is Jackson. Jackson with a first down and more. Still on his feet. Inside the 20. And finally tackled at the 11-yard line after a gain of 43.
Fred Jackson did a nice job of protecting that ball, Moose. He wasn't letting that thing come out for anything.
No, he turned around about 7 guys, too.
Longest career run for Jackson, a career high 165 yards on the ground today.
And again, early in this game in the first half, a lot of those yards coming after initial contact. He ran very physical. There's a couple times we thought he was down, and he went 10 more yards down the field.
Xavier Oman in the backfield. This is Oman up the middle, down to the 7-yard line. Fred Jackson played in NFL Europe, MVP of the United Indoor Football League for the Sioux City Bandits back in 2005 when he scored 53 touchdowns. A career game today.
And there's Sean Kugler, the offensive line coach for the Buffalo Bills, and he's done a tremendous job. Really, the first thing he wanted to do was kind of change the culture in that offensive line room. He wants smart guys, tough guys, physical guys that love the game of football. So he started this season with 3 starters that had never played an NFL game. He brought in Jeff Hangardner in free agency, moved Brad Butler from guard to tackle, and they got better and better from week to week through the preseason. I thought they did a nice job Monday night against New England in a pretty tough situation at Gillette Stadium, and then this afternoon, helping Fred Jackson to a career high in rushing yards.
Sean Kugler, who grew up in this area, you played in some all-star games with him in high school.
Known him since high school.
3rd down and 1. Jackson stops short. So now, as we approach the 2-minute warning, the Bills facing a 4th down situation. If they kick the field goal, it will still be a 2-possession game. Bills lead the Bucs by 10. Ryan Lindell 3 for 3 today, out to attempt a 22-yard field goal from the right hash to extend the Bills' lead to 13. And the Bills will send the offense back out.
Neutral zone infraction.
Well, it's only half the distance, so it still should be short, right?
Moving into the neutral zone to cause the offense to false start. Penalize half the distance to the goal.
I don't think it's
4th down.
Yeah, it's still 4. A lot of the offensive guys are going back out on the field.
Well, the offense right out onto the field. But instead it will be Lindell and the field goal unit returning. Fans wanted Dick Durant to go for it on 4th and 1, following the 11th penalty committed by the Bucs.
Yeah, 4 personal foul face masks during the course of the game.
So a 22-yard attempt becomes a 20-yard attempt. Lindell now 4 for 4. Still a 2-possession game with the Bills leading 33-20. Bucs have only 1 timeout remaining. Fred Edwards was interested to learn that you grew up in this area. 1983 Western New York Player of the Year. Number 34 retired at Lewiston Porter High School.
Beat out Sean Kugler for Player of the Year.
And of course, last year you were inducted into the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame, returning home this weekend.
I tell you, it has been an unbelievable weekend of weather here in the Western New York area, too. I can't remember being back home and having the type of weather we've had.
Goose, he told us about the September weather here at Buffalo. We never believed him.
He's right. He's right. It was unbelievable weather this weekend. And that hospitality from your family, too, Moose. I just want to go and extend that out to them. They were great showing us around here in Buffalo all weekend.
Clifton Smith out to the 29, and the Bucs with 1:50 remaining need 2 touchdowns. There he is back in '84.
What is this? Darryl, what is that?
I just come through puberty.
Man, that's almost a mullet. Looks like Joe Dirt a little bit on that one.
There was no length in the back. It was just curly on the top.
I don't know, man. It was hidden back there.
That's where I met Sean at. That's where Sean and I met, was at that game.
Quarter of a century ago.
If you had a stash, I think you'd be Tony Orlando.
Leftwich, there's a penalty marker. Pass nearly picked off by Terrence McGee.
Terrence McGee on the breakup. There's a flag down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 55. 15-yard penalty and a first down.
That's Kavika Mitchell, who says hello to Leftwich once again.
We had the big hit on the one on the goal line earlier. Got up in the face. Looked like Aaron Schobel more than Kavika Mitchell.
You know you got to stay away from them quarterbacks' heads. You can't hit him in the head.
Can't hit him in the head, can't hit him in the knees.
Nope.
1st and 10 from the 43. Bucs with 1 timeout remaining. Leftwich over the top to Clayton. Left up first by Ellison. Gain of 4 out to the 47. So the Bucs, as was the case last week, Darryl, trailed by that same 20-14 score in the 4th quarter. Lost by 2 touchdowns to the Cowboys. Trailed the Bills by 13 with time winding down.
We talked about Buffalo having to learn how to finish games at the top, and you know, maybe the same thing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now also. They put themselves in a position to win a game in the 4th quarter. But they're a young team. You know, they are in a pseudo rebuilding phase right now, transitional phase. But now 2 weeks in a row, you see good things. I mean, and there's things that happen during the course of the game that you can't coach. And you know, the way they compete, you know, what Byron Leftwich did on the 3rd down pass when he hung in the pocket, the great catch by Maurice Stovall this week. We had a great one by Michael Clayton last week. So a lot of the intangibles that you have to have with your team are there for Tampa Bay.
Leftwich nearly picked off by corner. Minute 6 remaining. Byron Leftwich with 3 touchdown passes today. But the Bucs trail by 13, and they will face NFC East opponents each of the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, it does not get any easier. They get the Giants at home, but then they go on the road to Washington and Philadelphia. And you know, Carolina, who started the year in a tough way, bounced back a little bit today, played much better. But then, as you pointed out, Kenny, they've got to travel to London to play the Patriots after that. So it is a tough start to the schedule for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
4th down and 6. Leftwich lobs it in, complete to Winslow for a first down. Clock stops with 61 seconds remaining. Quiet day for Terrell Owens until the 4th quarter. 43-yard touchdown reception. Fred Jackson, a career-high 163 yards on the ground. And
you know that last one?
Yeah.
The last one, I'm going to put a Buffalo Bill helmet there too.
Yep.
You know that was a result of their defense, not the way that Tampa Bay. And it wasn't poor execution in the running game by the Buccaneers. It was very good run defense by the Bills. So I'm going to give all 3 of those Buffalo Bill helmets.
Leftwich's pass is caught by Jeremy Stevens. Yard shy of the marker. Bucs with one timeout. 2nd and 1 from the Bills' 33. Leftwich escapes, and now is taken down by Ryan Denny. Tampa Bay uses their final timeout with 29 seconds on the clock. The high-flying New Orleans Saints visit Buffalo next week. They scored 45 last week, 48 in Philadelphia today. 9 touchdown passes for Drew Brees over the first 2 games.
Yeah, you'll have to hope that Leotis McKelvin is not too seriously hurt and that he's going to be able to be back for that game next week. You're going to need all the corners you can muster when you're against that Saints offense.
29 seconds remaining. Tampa Bay out of timeouts. 3rd down and 1. Leftwich over the middle. Stevens unable to make the catch. Brian Scott on the coverage.
The one critique on this game for me is I really felt that they needed to find Jeremy Stevens and Kellen Winslow a little bit more. They were the guys that made the big plays in the passing game this afternoon, but they just weren't featured enough. And I agree with the assessment coming into the game that we felt very good about our matchup with our tight ends versus the safeties and linebackers of the Buffalo Bills, but I think they left some opportunities out there by not utilizing them a little bit more.
And of course the Bucs without Antonio Bryant today as well. 4th down and 1. Penalty marker. Leftwich wrapped up by Ellison. Down back at the 40.
Offside. Defense number 91 in the neutral zone at the snap. A 5-yard penalty that results in a 1st down.
Spencer Johnson down to 18 seconds on the clock. Tampa Bay lost their last 4 games last season. And they are 18 seconds away from dropping to 0-2 here in 2009. Leftwich. Pass is short. Intended for Winslow. And from a Buffalo Bills standpoint, a fast start to try and erase the memories of the game on Monday night when they led New England by 11 with just over 2 minutes remaining, lost 25-24. They led this game 17-0 after 1 quarter.
But a big lull there in the 2nd and 3rd quarters gave Tampa Bay an opportunity to kind of get back into this game. You know, they've got to find a way to maintain that intensity throughout. And Buffalo coming up, New Orleans just, boy, they are hot right now. And then divisional game with the Dolphins.
Full start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Then they'll be back here at Cleveland. And then Tony Siragusa, your 2-0 New York Jets.
Wow. Rex Ryan, he turned that program around really fast. They're playing great defense, and offensively, I mean, the rookie comes in and just gets that offense going.
Rex Ryan said this week, the Patriots have a better head coach and a better quarterback than us, but we're going to try and go get him. And they did. 16-9. Mark Sanchez threw for 162 yards and a touchdown. Leftwich to the end zone. Penalty marker. It's against Clayton.
If you're going to push off, you at least got to make the catch.
Yeah.
We await the official call from Ron Winter.
Pass interference. Offense number 80. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Kellen Winslow got tied up too there at the bottom of your screen.
13th penalty committed by the Bucs today.
Yeah, last week it was the big play. They got that ironed out this week. Played a lot sounder defense, and this week it's really been the penalties. The penalties have just really put them in some tough situations.
This will be the last play of the game, barring a defensive penalty. Leftwich firing downfield. There is a flag, and the pass is batted down by Ashton Ubodi.
Holding. Offense number 24. The penalties decline. That's the end of the game.